tax invoice in the part that we have left the debit note and credit note. So हम पहले डेबिट क्रेडिट नोट की बात करते हैं and then we will discuss the EV bill topic. Section 34 talk about the debit credit note. One thing that we cannot issue the debit credit note for any transaction in the GST. There is a limited circumstances in which we can issue the debit credit note. So the situation are given in section 34 subsection 1. First we are talking about the credit note, where one or more tax invoice have been issued for supply of the goods or services or both, and the taxable value is found to be exceed the taxable value in respect of sub-supply. It means probably I have issued the invoice with a higher amount, so I need to reduce the value. I will issue the credit note. Or where the goods are returned by the recipient. So situation number 2. Situation number 1, if the taxable value or tax exceed the value, goods has been returned by the recipient. Third is goods or services found to be deficient. Correct? Either taxable value has been exceed, tax has been exceed, goods are returned, and its goods or services are found to be deficient. In that case, supplier can issue the credit note. One thing to be noted, in the GST, the debit and credit note will be issued only by the supplier, not by the recipient, because these has to be reported in the GSTR1 by the supplier only. Then with the word one or more tax invoice and one or more credit note. For one tax invoice or multiple tax invoice, we can issue one credit note, or single credit note, we can issue multiple credit note. Earlier, there was a relation of 1-to-1 that has been discontinued. It meaning thereby for multiple tax invoice, we can issue single credit note, or for one tax invoice, we can issue multiple credit note. Now there is a time limit to issue the credit note. What is the time limit? A registered person who issue the credit note in relation to the supply, he has to declare where the details of such credit note in the return for the month during which such credit note has been issued. It means supplier will report the same in the GSTR1. And maximum he can report not later than 30th November. This is amendment. Earlier it was September due date. Now they are saying not later than 30th November following the end of the financial year in which such supply was made, or furnishing of annual return, whichever is earlier. If you remember in the ITC chapter, we have discussed the time limit to take the ITC in 16.4. That time limit is also extended to 30th November or furnishing of annual return, whichever is earlier. The same time limit is here only. So we have to declare the details of such credit note. We have to declare the details of such credit note not later than 30th November or annual return, whichever is earlier. What is the word before annual return? It is due date, not. It is furnishing of annual return. provided that no reduction in output tax liability shall be permitted if the incidence of the tax and interest has been passed on to any other person. So if I am a supplier, I'm issuing the credit note to you. So I will reduce my tax liability to that amount. So credit note is nothing but the reversal of my tax liability. So they are saying this reduction is not possible if I have passed on the incidence of the tax and interest on such supply to any other person. So third thing, let me revise the credit note, then we'll move to the debit. First tell me credit note can be issued. So first tell me who will issue the credit note, supplier or recipient or any party? Please confirm who will issue the credit note, supplier, recipient or any party. Harini, try to understand. So based on the reply, you would be able to understand. It is a revision only, whatever I have explained. Ganesh Kumar, the e-way bill chapter would be started in half an hour. E-way bill chapter would be started in half an hour. Who will issue the credit note? The answer is supplier will issue the credit note. And credit note can be issued in 4 circumstances. Can you type? Can you give the reply? What are the circumstances in which credit note can be issued? Please read and same you can type, but at least give me the reply. The circumstances in which credit note can be issued. Goods are returned. Absolutely correct. Taxable value charge extra. Now I like to reduce the taxable value. Tax is being charged extra. I need to reduce the tax amount. Or goods or service found to be deficient. Okay, these are the 4 circumstances. What is the time limit to issue the credit note? What is the time limit to issue the credit note? Correct. What is the time limit to issue the credit note? It is 30th November after the end of the financial year. If I'm talking about financial year 21-22, the last day to issue the credit note. Please note, this is not the last day to issue the credit note. They are saying have to be declared the details of the credit note. It means the return, whatever we are filing by 30th November or annual return, furnishing of annual return, whichever is earlier. Please never say 30th November directly. Always use the word shall be declare the details maximum by November. Whatever the return we are filing in the month of November, that will obviously pertain to the October month. That will obviously be pertain to the October month, correct? So whatever the credit note issued till October has to be reported by the 30th November, obviously, because November ka return would be filed in the month of December. So what would be the last date to issue the credit note? Rather, I should say, what would be the last date to declare the credit note? First, the 30th November following the end of the financial year, or annual return, whichever is earlier. Any question? Is it possible to issue credit note in consolidated tax invoice? पॉसिबल तो है। अगर आपने कंसोलिडेटेड टैक्स इनवॉइस बनाया है, ठीक है, तो उसका एक सिंगल कंसोलिडेटेड क्रेडिट नोट बना दो कि ऑल द सप्लाई हैज बीन रिसीव्ड बैक, बिकॉज वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस द वर्ड वन और मोर टैक्स इनवॉइस, वन और मोर क्रेडिट नोट। इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? 1-to-1 रिलेशन नहीं है। आप एक टैक्स इनवॉइस का मल्टीपल क्रेडिट नोट बना सकते हो या मल्टीपल टैक्स इनवॉइस का सिंगल क्रेडिट नोट बना सकते हो। It says month return, which the language has been changed. So no. It means month return means see, the credit note has to be reported in the GSTR1. So that is return. So credit note in the return for the month. So I will file the return, might be October, might be September, of any return which is I'm filing prior to 30th November, in which I will reduce my tax liability. And annual return is written also, sir, or date of furnishing of annual return, whichever is earlier. ये डिक्लेयर करने की बात कर रहा है, डिक्लेयर द डिटेल्स ऑफ द क्रेडिट नोट। क्रेडिट नोट इश्यू की लास्ट डेट 30 नवंबर नहीं है, ध्यान रखना। क्रेडिट नोट को डिक्लेयर करने की लास्ट डेट 30 नवंबर है। इट मींस इट कैन बी द मैक्स टू मैक्स अक्टूबर रिटर्न जो मैं नवंबर में फाइल कर रहा हूं, दैट वुड बी द लास्ट डेट। अब इसका एग्जांपल मैं क्रेडिट नोट के लिए तो नहीं दे सकता फॉर द टाइमिंग। लेट मी टेक अनदर एग्जांपल विच इज लिंक्ड टू द रिफंड चैप्टर। नॉर्मली ये आपके फाइनल का टॉपिक है, बट व्हाट इज द पॉइंट दैट आई कैन टेक द रिफंड ऑफ पर्टिकुलर टैक्सेस, लाइक इन केस ऑफ द सप्लाई टू एसईजेड यूनिट, जीरो रेटेड सप्लाईज, एंड वहां पे ये सेम बात लिखी रखती है कि incidence of the tax has not been passed. What is the meaning? For example, I am making the supply to you. You are export oriented unit. I am making the supply to you rupees 1 lakh plus I have charged 18,000 GST. Government is allowing me to take the refund, but they are putting the condition I have not passed the incidence of the tax. It means I have not, incidence of the tax pass means tax has not been collected from the customer. Tax has not been collected from the customer. For example, in supply to the EOU unit, let's say I have collected 118, then I cannot take the refund of taxes also. So incidence of the tax is being passed when I am collecting the tax from you. Same can example, hypothetically, let's say you are returning the goods to me worth of rupees 1 lakh. There is a tax of 18,000. Now you and me both agreed that I will not reimburse the tax to you. You and me both agree that I will not reimburse the tax to you. In that case, I will issue the credit note for rupees 1 lakh, but I cannot charge the GST. Similarly, can you please give the example higher than the, let's say I have to raise the tax invoice of rupees 1 lakh. What is the breakup? 10,000 quantity, 10 rupees per unit. Instead of 10,000 quantity and 10 rupees per unit, instead of 10, I have wrongly charged 11 rupees, let's say. So what is the taxable value? Should be 1 lakh. But what the value actually I have raised 1 lakh 10,000. So it means I have raised the invoice higher amount. Then I will issue the credit note of 10,000. I have to charge the GST at the rate of 5%, but wrongly I have charged 12%. Then I can issue the credit note to reduce the tax liability. Harini, is it clear? Pranav, is it clear? Sushil, 30th number following the financial year means what? Let's say you have returned the goods in the month of October and the supply pertain to financial year 21-22. Can I issue the credit note by charging the GST? So what is the last date to issue the credit note, or what is the last date to report the credit note? 30th November. Meaning thereby it is following the end of the financial year, means financial year 21-22. After that, what is the month? November, in which you will, whatever the return you will file, you can issue the credit note pertaining to 21-22. So कहने का मतलब क्या हुआ, 21-22 का रिटर्न मैं मैक्सिमम तब तक इश्यू कर सकता हूं और तब तक डिक्लेयर कर सकता हूं जो 30th नवंबर या फाइनेंशियल ईयर का एनुअल रिटर्न जब फर्निश करूंगा, विच एवर इज अर्लियर. In case of the RCM basis, the buyer can issue credit note or not? Issue credit note, but that would be without GST. No, you are talking about the buyer. Buyer cannot issue the credit note. Only the supplier will issue the credit note. What amount will be mentioned in the credit note? Fully or wrongly entered amount? Only wrongly. Similarly, debit note. Debit note can be annual return filed monthly also. No, it is having the fixed date. It is having the fixed date, 30th, after the end of the financial year, 31st December is the last date. Monthly return, GSTR1, or it may be quarterly. Monthly return means GSTR1. Where one or more tax invoice have been issued for the supply of the goods or services or both. Okay. And taxable. So in the above credit note, we have issued tax payable, tax liability is being charged excess, higher. And now you will see taxable value or the tax is found to be less. So it means the credit note, I have wrongly raised the invoice with the higher amount. I have wrongly raised the invoice with the higher tax rate. Then I will issue the credit note. Reverse the situation. I have wrongly raised the invoice with lower amount or charge the lesser tax. I need to increase the value. Then I will issue the debit note. If I like to decrease the value, credit note. If I like to increase the value, debit note. The debit note, the government will receive the tax on the debit note. Therefore, there is no cutoff date which we can declare the debit note. Only point, the declaration is late. It means if you are paying the liability late, you have to pay the interest. Sandeep, we have discussed that last date not later than 30th November. Earlier September, now it is November. So whatever the return you are filing till November for the, let's say for the financial year 21-22, you can issue the credit note for the goods return till the return, whatever the return you are reporting in the month of November after the end of the financial year, till that time you can issue the credit note, otherwise not. So where one or more tax invoice have been issued for supply of the goods or services or both, taxable value or the tax charge is found to be less than the taxable value or tax payable, the registered person who has supplied the goods or services or both shall be issued to the recipient one or more debit note for the supplies made in the financial year as the case as may be prescribed. And any registered person who issue the debit note in relation to the supply of the goods or services shall declare the details in the return for the month during which it has been issued. Obviously, if you are reporting late, meaning thereby you have to pay the tax along with interest. By this, debit note and credit note has been completed. There is a circular 92. See, normally, if suppose I have missed that date, 30th November, then what? You have returned the goods for I have made the sale in 21-22. Let's say you have returned the goods in the month of April, May, June, July, any month. Then I would be able to issue the credit note by charging the GST, which I have to report by 30th November. Perfect. Now let's take one example that suppose you are returning the goods in the month of December. Will I be able to issue the credit note? Answer is yes, I would be able to issue the credit note, but that credit note will be without GST, and credit note without GST will be called as a financial or the commercial credit note. ठीक है. Similarly, I hope you have discussed the 15 subsection 3 clause B in the valuation chapter, in which the discount have some condition. Post sale discount have some condition. Secondary discount have some condition. If you not follow the condition, you will issue the credit note, but without GST. That is called as a financial credit note. Now we are moving to the. So these are the content. Rule 53, sub rule 1A, talking about the content. Unauthorized collection of tax is not allowed. Amount of the tax has to be indicated in the tax invoice and any other document separately. Now we are moving to the e-way bill chapter. Any question kindly ask with respect to credit note and debit note. भाई प्रणव, सिर्फ लाइव आपने गुड्स रिटर्न किया भाई, 1 लाख का वैल्यू था, 18,000 माइनस नहीं होगा, लेकिन 1 लाख तो माइनस होगा ना अपने बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स में. अगर आपने माल मुझे रिटर्न किया तो जो मेरा लेजर है उसमें 1 लाख रुपए कम करूंगा या नहीं करूंगा? ऑब्वियसली करूंगा. ओनली प्रॉब्लम इज 18,000 अलाउड नहीं है, तो मैं आपको क्या करूंगा, सिर्फ 1 लाख का क्रेडिट नोट इशू करूंगा. मेरी जीएसटी लाइबिलिटी तो रिड्यूस नहीं होगी, बट आपका बैलेंस तो कम होगा ना. इसके लिए मैं कौन सा डॉक्यूमेंट इशू करूंगा? विदाउट जीएसटी इज कॉल्ड एज ए फाइनेंशियल और द कॉमर्शियल क्रेडिट नोट. क्लियर हुआ प्रणव? हाँ, आराम से पूछो डाउट. दीपांशु, in case of the RCM basis, if the buyer has purchased the goods and paid the taxes and the return the goods, so does he has to issue any debit or credit note? See, जब भी बात डेबिट क्रेडिट नोट की आती है, ओनली सप्लायर विल इश्यू द डेबिट क्रेडिट नोट. अब चूंकि आरसी में टैक्स होता नहीं है, आरसी में सप्लायर जब इनवॉइस इश्यू करेगा या कुछ भी नहीं करेगा, इन दैट केस देयर वुड बी नो टैक्स कंपोनेंट, राइट? तो बिना जीएसटी का मैं डेबिट क्रेडिट नोट इश्यू कर दूंगा. एंड यू हैव टू रिड्यूस योर आईटीसी रिफंड, दोनों बनेगा, दोनों कॉम्बिनेशन बनेगा. सो नॉट गो इनटू दैट लिटिगेशन बिकॉज रिफंड इज नॉट इन योर सिलेबस. बट जितनी वैल्यू का गुड्स या सर्विस आपने मुझे रिटर्न किया या डेफिसिट हुई है सर्विस, तो उतनी वैल्यू का मैं क्रेडिट नोट इशू कर दूंगा. आरसी में टैक्स नहीं होता, तो दैट क्रेडिट नोट वुड बी कॉल्ड एज ए फाइनेंशियल और कॉमर्शियल क्रेडिट नोट. आलोक, काइंडली debit credit note clear, but I have one question of another topic. When you will say, I will ask. 8:30. Alok, at 8:30. In which circumstances supplier can issue debit note? दो circumstances ना. मुझे इनवॉइस 1 लाख का बनाना था, मैंने गलती से 90,000 का बना दिया. मुझे टैक्स चार्ज करना था 18%, गलती से मैंने 5% चार्ज कर दिया. तो फर्स्ट एग्जांपल का 10,000 रुपीज या सेकंड एग्जांपल में जो डिफरेंशियल टैक्स है उसके लिए मैं आपको डेबिट नोट इशू करूंगा. हाउ डज गवर्नमेंट वेरीफाई वेदर नोट्स आर जेन्युइन? लाइक देखो, आज हमेशा असेसमेंट सेल्फ होता है. सेक्शन 59 ऑफ द CGST Act says that whatever the liability you are declaring, whatever the ITC you are taking, that would be self declaration. मतलब मैं अपना खुद का असेसमेंट करूंगा. एंड आफ्टर दैट व्हेनेवर द डिपार्टमेंट डू द स्क्रूटनी और डिपार्टमेंट डू द असेसमेंट और दे आर डूइंग द जीएसटी ऑडिट, in at that point of time they might find the issue. Otherwise it is not possible to identify, because first assessment would always be self assessment. Can a composite dealer issue the debit credit note? Answer is yes, can issue, only the part जीएसटी कंपोनेंट वुड नॉट बी देयर. सिर्फ जीएसटी का कंपोनेंट नहीं होगा, बट कॉमर्शियल क्रेडिट नोट या फाइनेंशियल क्रेडिट नोट तो हो ही सकता है. चलो सर, अब हम स्टार्ट करते हैं ई-वे बिल के रिगार्ड में. सेक्शन 68 क्या बोलता है? When issue debit note, end date November. See, debit note में end date नहीं है. Please note, the end date will be available or will be there only in case when you are taking the benefit. I am SSE. If I issue the debit note, will I have to pay the tax or I have to adjust the tax? I have to pay the tax to the government. Balaji D. Mr. Balaji D, I have to pay the tax. So in case of the debit note, there is no last date. Only in the case of the credit note, the liability would be adjusted. It will be reduced. There is a last date. Debit will be issued buyer only now. Sir, debit, whether debit note or credit note. According to the GST, it will be issued only by the supplier and will be reported by the supplier in the GSTR1. Harini, yes, I'm receiving your query. I'm receiving your query. Long back, I have received your query regarding. Okay, one more doubt, sir. If we supply some services, is to be this credit note for 21-22. I have to issue credit note before 30th November of 22 and the annual return of GST is my statement is correct. See, you have to issue the credit note, but that credit note would be declared in the return in the month of November. What is the meaning? That credit, so whatever the return you will file in the month of November, which return would be filed in the month of November? Will it be November or will it be October? You tell me, whatever the return you file, max to max, it can be of October or can it be November return can be filed in November? Answer is, I can file the GST return after the end of the month, meaning thereby the maximum return would be of October, which will be filed in the month of November. So it means till October, the return which you are filed till November, in which you have to declare that credit note. So indirectly, I can say the last date to issue the credit note will be October end. But the condition is not the date of the credit note. Condition is the declaration of the credit note by 30th November. Or furnishing of annual return, whichever is earlier. They are giving the due date. We have to apply whichever is earlier. ठीक है ना? Inverted duty structure, how to issue the, can he take the refund? Refund would be permissible, but will not touch upon the refund topic. Transaction are in November, then last date will be which transaction? Return of the goods or supply of the goods? Let's move to the section 68. E-way bill under the GST regime for the quick and easy movement of the goods across India without any hindrances. All the checkposts across the country are abolished. However, in the monitor the movement of the goods, E-way bill provision has been introduced. What is the statutory requirement? Section 68 says government may require the person in charge of the conveyance carrying any consignment of the goods value exceeding 50,000 to carry such document that can be e-way bill, tax invoice, e-invoice, bill of supply, delivery challan, bill of entry, etc. And such devices as may be prescribed. Device means RFID, radio frequency instrument device. Rule 138 prescribed e-way bill as the document to be carried on by the consignment of the goods in the prescribed cases. What is the e-way bill? E-way bill is an electronic way bill. It means for the transportation of goods by road or whatever the mode, if there is a transportation of goods, then you have to prepare the e-way bill. E-way bill is an electronic document generated on the GST portal. If time permit, today I will travel through e-way bill portal also. You have the more clarity. What is the benefit? Following are the physical interference to pay for digital interference resulting in the elimination of state boundary checkposts. It will facilitate the faster movement. It improves the turnaround time of the truck and help the logistic industries by increasing the average distance traveled. Now, e-way bill website is www.ewaybillgst.gov.in. Okay. E-way bill can be generated through various modes like online, Android app, SMS, bulk upload tool, API, etc. Facility of generation, cancellation, updation, assignment is available to the supplier, recipient, and transporter. The prerequisite is who generate the e-way bill should be registered person in the GST portal. and he should register on e-way bill portal using his GST number. One is for registered person. If I am registered, I have to create the login ID password on the e-way bill portal as well. Meanwhile, let's move to the e-way bill portal also. So this is the e-way bill portal. You can see that in the registration, you may see the three options are coming. First option is for e-way bill registration for registered person. Second is for transporter. Third is for citizen. What is the meaning of transporter? Let's go. If the transporter is generating the e-way bill but is not registered, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. But in that case, he has to enroll himself on the e-way bill portal. Go back. In the registration, second option, enrollment for the transporter. He has to fill some detail. Select your state, PAN number, verification, what is the type of enrollment or constitution of business, address, contact information, login detail, verification, etc. So the one feature is that if he's registered, then he will go to the e-way bill registration. If he is not registered, then he will go to the enrollment for transporter. Then the 50, once enrolled for transporter, then 15 digit would be generated. That looks like a GST number, but that is called as trans ID, transporter identification number, which can be used for generation of e-way bill. Okay. We'll discuss multiple rules. When is e-way bill required to be generated? If the value exceed 50,000 because of any reason. Reason means the movement of the goods are there, but movement can be because of supply. It is a sale of goods. Movement because of other than supply. Can anybody tell me what can be the other than supply? Can anybody give me the example for movement of the goods, but it is not a supply? I need one example. We have already discussed. Probably you know the reason. We have already discussed in some other way, but we have discussed what is other than supply, but movement is there. Priyanka, your statement is again slightly incorrect, slightly correct. The declaration has to be made either in the return filed till 30th November, not on. So whatever the GSTR filed till November, I have to furnish or annual return, whichever is earlier. You have to add annual return, whichever is, you have to add whichever is earlier. बहुत बढ़िया, very nice, very nice. Someone is saying that transfer to the branch office. It is a supply according to Schedule 1, Para 2. You are supplying the goods or services to the branches, to the distinct person. It will be the supply. You can say you are transferring the stock between same GST number, but additional place of business. You can say you are transferring the goods to the job worker. You can say that it is sales on approval. So there can be the multiple example where the goods are moved, but it's not a supply. And due to the inward supply from unregistered person. If this is the case, then registered person who causes the movement of the goods, it means the person who's causing the movement should be registered. Has to declare the details in the part A. See, now the e-way bill is also being divided in two parts, part A and part B. Let me show you the actual e-way bill, how it look like. मैं आपको एक्चुअल ई वे बिल कैसा दिखता है वो बता रहा हूं. आई होप द स्क्रीन इज विजिबल. ई वे बिल ये पार्ट ए है जिसमें आप ट्रांजेक्शन डिटेल डालते हैं. ट्रांजेक्शन डिटेल में क्या डालता हूं? आउटवर्ड है कि इनवर्ड, सप्लाई, एक्सपोर्ट, जॉब वर्कर, सीकेडी, एसकेडी कंडीशन. यू रिमेंबर in the last class we have discussed the rule 55, CKD, SKD, batch or lot. Correct. So for what is the purpose of the movement? Which document? Delivery challan, bill of supply, tax invoice, etc. Document number, document date, and transaction type. And here you have the bill from, bill to, ship from, ship to. If you know, there is a provision in the place of the supply chapter, section 10 subsection 1 clause B, bill to ship to model. Am I right? In case of the bill to ship to model, the billing party would be the place of the supply. But what is the point we are discussing here? In case of the bill to ship to model, you have to generate single e-way bill. You have the facility to give the bill to party detail and ship to address. So, Harini, please concentrate on the e-way bill topic for the timing. Whatever the question you have, we will start at 8:50. Now, please do not change the topic. We are moving to the, and again back to the credit debit note topic. Please hold that topic. Please concentrate on this particular discussion, e-way bill, and then whatever the query you have, we will discuss again at 8:15 or 8:30. Nothing to say sorry. Nothing to say sorry. You can ask the question multiple times. There is no problem. Only point, because I have changed the topic. So accordingly, the last topic query we will handle after some time at 8:15 or 8:30. Okay. Now these are the item details: HSN code, rate, value, etc. Now please see that here is the part B, and above that you are giving the transporter detail. Correct? Transporter ID. So if transporter is registered, his GST number. If he is not registered, then trans ID. Correct. In the part B, you have to select the mode: by road, by rail, by air, vehicle type. What is the difference between regular and ODC? In some time, we have the slide. We have the discussion on that also. But you have to write vehicle number. Correct. So going back to the provision, ई-वे बिल के लिए रजिस्ट्रेशन होना मैंडेटरी नहीं है. देयर आर द 3 पॉसिबिलिटी that registered person or transporter or even citizen can also generate the e-way bill. So the registered person who causes the movement of the goods shall furnish the part A, and who will generate the part B? Transporter can generate the part B. So we need to take a break of 5 minutes. Ashok ji, kindly take a break of only 4 to 5 minutes. That's it, in between. Some urgency. means it can be for reason to supply other than or inward supply from unregistered person. It is important to note that information to be furnished prior to the commencement of the movement. It is not that we can generate the e-way bill after the movement of the goods. No. Prior to the movement of the goods, we have to put the part A plus part B. Either we will fill the part B or transporter can fill the part B. But before, prior to the movement of the goods, we have to fill the part B. Then who can cause the movement of the goods? It can be any party, supplier, recipient, or some transporter. Now, what is the consignment value? We have discussed that it should, if it is exceeding 50,000, then only the e-way bill is required. Any one party will issue, Dipanshu, any one party will issue. Why both party will issue? Anyone can issue, either supplier or recipient or even the transporter can generate on my behalf. Yes, absolutely correct, because it's showing the both inward and outward supply. Absolutely correct. गणेश कुमार सर, एक ओनर की दो कंपनियां हैं और दोनों एक ही है, जगह पे ही अगर एक कंपनी ने दूसरे को बिल इशू किया है तो ई-वे बिल, अगर गुड्स का मूवमेंट है बाई मोटराइज्ड व्हीकल, मान लो मेरे फर्स्ट फ्लोर और सेकंड फ्लोर में ही दो ऑफिस है, तो मैं अगर फर्स्ट फ्लोर से सेकंड फ्लोर को माल बेचता हूं, मान लो कस्टमर है मेरा, एज्यूम दैट इट इज अ कस्टमर, इट इज नॉट रिलेटेड पार्टी, डू आई नीड टू रेज द ई-वे बिल? द ओनली पॉइंट, you must have the motorized vehicle by which you are moving the goods, otherwise no e-way bill. ठीक है, अभी let's say the value is 48,000 taxable value, the taxable value is 48,000 and the tax is 4,000, the total value is 52,000. So for the purpose of e-way bill, whether taxable value will be considered or including taxes will be considered. Please give the answer that which value would be considered, 48 or 52. Yes, Pradeep. Yes, Pradeep. We can, but in that case, 100%. Very good question. But yes, 100% we can raise the tax invoice. I think we have discussed this point also in the tax invoice chapter. But even if it is left, answer is yes. We can issue the tax invoice. Read the lines and give me the answer that 48,000 plus 4,000, whether e-way bill is required or not in this case. Whether e-way bill is required or not in this case. Total invoice value, it means 48 and plus include the taxes, meaning thereby the 52 would be considered, which is higher than 50, tax invoice required. Dhyanesh Ingal, yes, any party can generate the e-way bill. In the bill to ship to model, billing party, shipping party, any party can generate the e-way bill. There is no linking, Jyoti, RCM and e-way bill. Both are different topic. Both are different topic. Please do not interlink these provisions. So the answer is because it includes the taxes in my example, including taxes, the value is 52, e-way bill is required. Perfect. Now value means determine the value according to the section 15. Declare an invoice, a bill of supply, delivery challan as the case may be, CGST, but please note it will not include, rather it will exclude. What it will exclude? Value of the exempt supply, where the invoice is issued in respect of both exempt and taxable. In the last class, we have discussed one provision, Rule 46 capital A, invoice cum bill of supply. Correct? If the recipient is unregistered, we can combine. If the recipient is unregistered, we can combine. Correct. The taxable supplies as well as exempt supply and single document. Now let's say 40,000 is taxable, 8,000 is exempted, 4,000 is tax. 4,000 is tax. I'm saying taxable value is 40,000. Exempted value 8,000. GST 4,000. Total value is 52,000. I hope it is clear that in calculation of the threshold limit or in calculation the value, we will add the GST, but we will not add the exempt value. So meaning thereby in this example, the value is 40 plus 4, 44,000, and hence e-way bill is not required. Yes, Harini, it will consist of GST. It will be included. Also include the GST part. That is the reason I have added the 4,000 value. These are the consignment goods where there is no actual sale, but only movement of the goods. Only movement of the goods, then you have to prepare the delivery challan. And on that basis, you will make the e-way bill. Fully supplies e-way bill. Abdul, kindly wait. We will go 138.14. In that case, whatever the sentence you have quoted, that is already quoted. No requirement of e-way bill in certain circumstances in which one point you have already taken. We'll discuss, Dhyanis. Just wait for some time. There is a concept of consolidated e-way bill. What is that? What is the basic understanding? Something different. We'll discuss in the relevant topic in some time. Now, if the value is less than 50,000, then also in two circumstances, we need to generate the e-way bill. Kavita, 40 taxable का था, 8,000 exempted का था और 4,000 टैक्स था. तो वैल्यू में हमें exempted value of the goods को include नहीं करना, and that is the reason it was 44. The special circumstances, situation where e-way bill need to be issued even if the value is less than 50,000. क्या? If I am transferring the goods from principal to the job worker, but it is interstate from one state to the another, then e-way bill is mandatorily required. Mandatorily required. Now you may ask the question, sir, what about intra? Please note one thing. In case of the intra-state requirement of e-way bill, we have to refer the respective SGST rule 138. State has the power to modify their e-way bill requirement, and therefore you will find only interstate it is casting the responsibility, but for intra they cannot say anything because we have to refer the SGST rule 138. Harini, not required, right? Not required. Dipanshu, sir, for issuing e-way bill, amount exceed 50,000 is just required to issue e-way bill, or any distance also required to issue e-way bill? No distance, no distance. If it is motorized vehicle, we have to generate. But please wait for some time. In rule 138, sub rule 14, we have some relaxation, which we will discuss over there. But till now, we can say there is no minimum distance. It's not that only 1 kilometer you have to generate the e-way bill, below 1 kilometer not to generate. No. If the movement of the goods are there through motorized vehicle, always required, except some of the situation which we will discuss in the last of the chapter. Now, if it is second, wherein we need to generate the mandatorily e-way bill, where handicraft goods are transported from one state to the another state by a person who has been exempted from the requirement for obtaining the registration, the e-way bill shall be generated by the said person in respect to the value of the consignment. It means if person who has relaxed from 24(1) or 24(2), casual taxable person. Correct. They are required, they are exempted in 24(2). And if normal person are also making the supply, this particular topic you can go above previous topic, registration chapter we have discussed. If the handicraft goods, movement of the supplier supplying the handicraft goods and are exempted from registration, then if he is moving the goods from one state to the another, then it is mandatory e-way bill. Handicraft has been, list of the handicraft goods has been given in the notification. Now, in case of the bill to ship to model, in case of the bill to ship to model, let's say what is the bill to ship to model? A is making the supply. A, B, and C, there are three parties. Let's say who is A? A is the person who has ordered B to send the goods to directly C. So A has given the order to B to directly supply the goods to C. C is ultimate recipient, B is ultimate supplier, and A is third party who is giving the instruction. In this case, e-way bill can be generated either by A or B or C, by any party, no problem. In case of the bill to ship to model, in case of the bill to ship to model, the e-way bill is required. So there is two supply. In case of the bill to ship to model, there are two supply. One would be the B to A, because B will raise the tax invoice to A. Also, A will raise the tax invoice to C. Obviously, B, A, and C. As per the instruction of A, B has given the supply to C. But how many tax invoice? Because B will collect the amount from A, so A will issue tax. A will also collect from C, so A will issue the tax invoice. So it's a invoice number 1 and it's invoice number 2. Any party can generate the e-way bill, but in case of the bill to ship to model, please remember there are two supply but only one e-way bill required. There are two supply but only one e-way bill is required. Either A or B or even C, any party can generate the e-way bill, but there would be only one e-way bill. What is the information to be furnished on e-way bill? Part A and Part B we have discussed with the practical live, I can say screenshot, or I can say help manual of the government. So you have the idea what all details has to be entered in the Part A as well as Part B. Part A ka detail can be furnished by the transporter or by the e-commerce operator or by courier company. Any party can fill the Part A. Once the details in the Part A is generated, this slip can be shared with the transporter to enter the details in the Part B of e-way bill and generate the e-way bill. This will be useful when supplier has prepared the invoice relating to the transaction but does not have the transporter. So Part A and Part B is okay. What are the details to be entered? Part A can be filled by the supplier, by the transporter, by e-commerce operator, by courier company. And finally, after generating Part A, any party can fill the Part B, but Part A and Part B both has to be entered. Then only it is called as EWB01 e-way bill, valid for movement of the goods. We'll discuss. Harini, just wait. Validity period. We have the separate discussion. What is the validity period? Is e-way bill valid only for transportation of goods by road? No. If you have remember, let's see that Part B of EWB01. See, here road is also written, rail is also written, air is also written, ship is also written. It means transportation of goods movement can be by any mode. It can be by road, by rail, by air, or by ship. I hope, Priyanka, your doubt is clear. Now, Eway bill, who is mandatorily required to generate the Eway bill? Okay. Now, Eway bill is to be generated by the consignor or by the consignee if the transporter is being done in own or hired conveyance or by railway, by air, or by vessel. If the goods are handed over to the transporter for transportation of goods by road, Eway bill is to be generated by the transporter. When neither the consignor nor the consignee generate the Eway bill and value is more than 50,000, it shall be the responsibility of the transporter to generate it. Where the goods are transported by the registered person, whether as a consignor or recipient as the consignee, whether on his own conveyance or hired or public conveyance by road, the said person have to generate the Eway bill. Then whether Eway bill, where Eway bill is not generated by the registered person and goods are handed over to the transporter, then transporter has to generate the transporter has to generate the transporter has to generate the part B. Okay. When the goods are transported by rail or by air or by vessel, in the Eway bill shall be generated by the registered person, being the supplier or the recipient, who shall either before or after the commencement of the movement furnish information in part B on the common portal. Only one Eway bill is required, right, Abdul? What is ODC cargo? Wait for some time. Harini, you are little bit fast probably compared to me. You are talking about the validity period, ODC cargo. These points are covered, but you have to wait for some time. That's it. Now, other important point. Where the goods are transported by railway, there is no requirement to carry Eway bill along with the goods, but railway has to carry invoice, delivery challan, or bill of supply as the case may be. Further, Eway bill generated for the moment is required to produce at the time of delivery. See, prima facie we are saying Eway bill has to be generated prior to the movement of the goods. But what is the exception? In case if the goods are moved by rail, by air, or by vessel, in that case they are saying not required to generate the Eway bill prior to the movement of the goods. Fine. Then what? In case of the railway specifically, they are saying when the railway will deliver the goods to you, you have to produce the complete Eway bill with part A as well as part B. They are saying, Arey, no, please do not use sorry. Your question is absolutely correct, Harini. I'm not saying that question is wrong. Question is correct. Only that point which is being covered later, I'm not discussing right now. That is the only point. But question आपका valid है. The register. So at the when railway person will deliver the goods, you have to produce the complete Eway bill. The registered person or the transporter at his option generate the and carry the Eway bill even if the value is less than 50,000. What does it mean? Can optionally you generate the Eway bill? Answer is yes. Suppose my value of the goods is less than 50,000. I like to generate Eway bill. Is it possible? Is it allowed? Answer is yes. But I'm doing the comparison with e-invoicing. Can anybody tell me the threshold limit for e-invoicing? E-invoicing कब applicable होगा? अगर मेरी aggregate turnover कितने अमाउंट से एक्सीड करती है तो मेरा ई इनवॉइस एप्लीकेबल होगा. प्लीज कंफर्म. जानबूझकर पूछ रहा हूं क्योंकि हमने काफी कंफ्यूजन कर दिया था उस दिन द लास्ट क्लास. एम आई राइट? So e-invoice कब applicable होगा, please confirm so that I can make one comparison with you. Hemlata, kindly correct, it is 10 crore. Hemlata, kindly correct, it is 10 crore. If now I like to make the comparison. If my turnover is below 10 crore, can I optionally generate the e-invoice? Answer is no. Can I optionally generate the e-invoice? Answer is no. In that case, you have to compare one thing. Optionally, Eway bill is allowed, permissible if the value is less than 50,000, then also. But optionally, e-invoicing is not possible. When the movement is caused by an unregistered, either by his own conveyance or hired or through the transporter, he or the transporter can generate the e-way bill. Where the goods are supplied by unregistered to the recipient who is registered, तो it will be treated कि जो goods का movement है ना, वो किसने कोच किया है, उस registered recipient ने किया है, and the liability to generate the e-way bill is shifted on that. When it is not mandatory to furnish the details of the conveyance in the part B. The first point, that e-way bill is valid for movement of the goods by road only when the information in the part B is furnished. E-way bill valid for movement of the goods only when you have completed part B, but there are exceptions. It means without part B, I can move the goods when. This is important. Try to understand. Anyone is facing the problem of audio video? Kindly confirm. If the goods are transported up to 50 kilometer, and it is within the same state, and movement is from the business place to the transporter place, they are saying if I am moving the goods, let's say Mr. A is moving the goods to the Mr. B. Then first he will move the goods to the transporter, then transporter will move the goods to Mr. B. If this transporter place and Mr. A ka place is within the state 50 kilometer, in that case, for this movement from business place to the transporter business place, no part B is required. It means only on the basis of the part A, I can generate the e-way bill. Answer is yes, but please note one thing. If you are not putting the part B ka detail, if you are not putting the part B detail, in that case, the transporter ID, which is normally not mandatory field, it become mandatory. Try to understand. अगर पार्ट बी फिल नहीं किया तो क्या वो ई वे बिल वैलिड है फॉर मूवमेंट? आंसर इज नो। इज देयर एनी एक्सेप्शन? दो एक्सेप्शन है। क्या है? पहला एक्सेप्शन मैं बता रहा हूं, मिस्टर ए ने मिस्टर बी को माल सेल किया। ए लोकेटेड इन लेट्स से दिल्ली एंड बी लोकेटेड इन राजस्थान। तो जब मिस्टर ए गुड्स मूव कर रहा है, पहले ट्रांसपोर्टर को मूव कर रहा है विद इन दिल्ली एंड देन दिल्ली ट्रांसपोर्टर से मिस्टर बी को माल जा रहा है। इन दैट केस अगर ये डिस्टेंस 50 किलोमीटर है, विद इन 50 किलोमीटर, स्टेट आर सेम, then only on the basis of the part A goods can be moved without part B. But in that case, this field become mandatory transporter ID. And also in the reverse side, let's say Mr. A has sent the goods to transporter, both are in Delhi. Now the goods are reached to transporter place in Rajasthan at Jaipur. Now from transporter, it will move to the Mr. B. Let's say the vehicle is changed. Vehicle changed. Need to update the part B? Need to update the part B. Na? See, the part B can be updated multiple times within the validity period. Part B can be updated multiple times within that time period. There is no issue. So if transporter and ultimate consignee location are in same state, 50 kilometer, in that case, the part B not required to be updated. Part B not required to be updated. Here I am using the word updated, and here I have used the word not required to be added. Correct? What once you generate the e-way bill, the unique e-way bill number will be generated and it is available to the supplier, recipient and transporter on the common portal. And it's reached to Gurgaon, and because of any reason truck is not working. Now Gati transporter has sent the another truck to shift the goods. In that case, the vehicle number, the part B, has to be updated with new details. The part B has to be updated with new vehicle number. Again repeating, part B can be generated or can be updated multiple times within the validity period. Transfer of the goods from one conveyance to another. When the goods are transferred from one conveyance to another conveyance, the consignor or the recipient who has provided the information in the part A or the transporter shall, before such transfer and further movement of the goods, update the details in the part B of e-way bill on the common portal. Jyoti, you are only facing the problem probably. Consignment of the goods may be required to be transferred from the original conveyance due to the unforeseen exigency, breakdown, etc. So that is okay. We can move to the assigning the e-way bill to the another transporter. The consignor or recipient or the recipient who has furnished the information in the part A. Jyoti, if you are facing any problem, just log out and then log in again. किसी को भी अगर ऑडियो या वीडियो में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, 2-3 पार्टिसिपेंट को आ रही है, एक बार लॉग आउट करें, वापस लॉग इन करें. और आप तो सिर्फ जूम में देख रहे हैं ना, तो एक बार आप तो sorry, you are watching on YouTube. Now there are two questions. Let me take first these two questions and then we'll have the break and then we'll start this particular part. The question is, if we want to transport the goods in two motor vehicle, there is one tax invoice and goods are being moved in two motor vehicle, vehicle number 1 and vehicle number 2. Achha, you are watching on the viewers, sir. Okay. Okay. Vehicle number 1 and vehicle number 2. In that case, whether one e-way bill is required or two e-way bill, the answer is 2. Please note one thing. You can put only one vehicle number. Here you can put only one vehicle number. You are required to put only one vehicle number. You cannot add two vehicle at the same time. Similarly, you cannot add two document at the same time. It means if there are two tax invoice moving in one vehicle, need to have the two e-way bill. If there is one tax invoice moving in the two vehicle, you had to have the two e-way bill. Second question, debit or credit note issued in that case, what will be the high effect in e-way bill? See, original value 1 lakh, GST 18,000, total value 1,18,000. I have raised the tax invoice and also I have prepared the e-way bill. Suppose I have issued the debit note or credit note. What is the effect on e-way bill? You please confirm, or rather I should say kindly all confirm, because of the debit and credit note, will there be any movement of goods? Will there be any movement of the goods? प्लीज कंफर्म वन थिंग, क्या डेबिट नोट और क्रेडिट नोट के कारण क्या गुड्स में के मूवमेंट में कोई फर्क पड़ेगा? जितनी वैल्यू का डेबिट या क्रेडिट नोट है, क्या कोई गुड्स जाएगा या आएगा? एक्सेप्ट रिटर्न ऑफ द गुड्स, एक्सेप्ट रिटर्निंग द गुड्स, एक्सेप्ट रिटर्निंग द गुड्स. ई वे बिल, डेबिट क्रेडिट नोट के कारण ई वे बिल पर क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? सपोज देयर इज no movement of goods, suppose there is no movement of the goods, then no impact on e-way bill, even though your value has been decreased or increased, doesn't matter. If there is a movement of the goods, like goods return, correct, in that case you have to generate the e-way bill also if value exceed 50,000. Is it clear? Is it clear? 9 possibility, there will be no movement, then there is no impact on e-way bill. There may be the movement like sales return. In that case, you will generate the e-way bill for the value of the goods return exceeding 50,000. Is it clear? Kindly confirm. ये assignment वाला example, we will do the discussion on assigning the e-way bill after the break. Let's start the break. We will start at 7:30 once again. हम अपने क्लास को 10 मिनट का ब्रेक दे रहे हैं. We'll start again at 7:30. अशोक जी, kindly start the break. So there are 3-4 questions. Abdul, if you are changing the mode means from road to rail or from road to air or ship something, you have to update the part B, and part B can be updated multiple times, no problem during the validity. Pradeep Kumar, only for the movement, answer is yes. If there is a movement of the goods, you need to generate the e-way bill, otherwise not applicable. And Vimal Kumar, it will be including GST, the value of the 50,000 would be including GST. Now, assigning the e-way bill number to the another transporter, consignor or the recipient who has furnished the information in the part A, or the transporter may assign the e-way bill number to the another transporter for updating the part B. However, once the details of the conveyance has been updated by the transporter, the assignment is not possible. Consolidated e-way bill. Try to differentiate consolidated e-way bill. What is the concept of consolidated e-way bill? Let me tell you myths and fact. What is not, what is available with respect to consolidated e-way bill. With respect to consolidated e-way bill, I like to tell you. See, I am having 3 tax invoice and I like to move in one truck. Can I prepare single e-way bill? Answer is no. Consolidation e-way bill is not that multiple e-way bill, instead of multiple e-way bill, we have to make one e-way bill. No, that is not the consolidation. What is the consolidation? Consolidation e-way bill means the transporter has the facility. Point number 1, transporter has the facility. What is the facility? That with respect to part B, he can consolidate. See, consolidation e-way bill is not the consolidation of entire e-way bill, only with respect to part B. What is that meaning? Giving you one example for the fact. There are 50 consignment reached to transporter with part A, and part B was not added. Part B was not added. It is possible? Yes, it is possible. 50 kilometers within the same state, it is possible, no problem. Once transporter receive the goods having part A updated e-way bill, then he has to add part B. He has to add part B. Please confirm till now, is it clear or not? The part B can be added in 2 ways. Either he will add individually, in every 50 EWB01 part A. He will add the part B in every 50 document. Otherwise, second option is consolidated e-way bill. What is that consolidated e-way bill? That transporter can select all those 50 consignment and put only once part B. He is not required to add the part B in every document. He will select all and add part B. Then he will generate the document which is called as EWB02. Which is called as EWB02. That is the consolidation, time-saving activity by which transporter can save lot of time and accurate data. So by this, he can generate EWB02, consolidated e-way bill. It's simple consolidation with respect to part B. Kindly confirm everything is clear, or any doubt you may ask. Please confirm everything is clear, or any part which is having doubt, kindly ask. Any doubt or clear? Kindly confirm. These are for 50 parties. I'm talking about the 50 different parties. All are 50 different parties. All has added the GST number or trans ID of that transporter, Gati transporter. Then Gati can select all and he can add the part B through EWB02. Let's read the provision. After e-way bill has been generated, where multiple consignment are intended to be transported in one conveyance, the transporter may indicate the serial number of EWB01 part A in respect of each consignment on the common portal, and a consolidated may be generated on the said common portal. Yes, all these 50 EWB01, we can select and update part B. The new document would be created. Priyanka, Hari, the new document would be created, which is called as EWB02. Yes, only transporter. Yes, obviously. Vehicle would be same. That is clear. Vehicle has to be same. If the vehicle is different, then you do not have the option. Only by the transporter. Piyush, absolutely correct. Thank you, Gaurav. Consolidated e-way bill is a document containing multiple e-way bill for multiple consignment is being carried in one conveyance. That is the transporter carrying multiple consignment of various consignor or consignee in a single vehicle can generate and carry the single document, which is called as EWB02, instead of carrying each separate document. Fine. Now next, this. Yes, please read this provision, and this provision is not yet applicable. This provision is not yet applicable, or not yet effective, I can say. Not yet effective till date. It has not yet been notified. Sushil, kindly visit the video again. I have explained 2 times, one with example, then theory. I request, please watch the video again. Okay. In short, consolidated, yes. Bilkul, Priyanka, absolutely correct. Your statement is correct. Now, where the consignor or the consignee has not generated the e-way bill, in EWB01, and aggregate amount of the consignment value in the conveyance is more than 50,000. Individual value may be less than 50,000. But if it is being consolidated, then let's say the value is more than 50,000. The transporter, except in case of the transportation of goods by rail, by air, by vessel. So it is for transportation of goods by road. Then transporter shall, for interstate supply, generate the e-way bill. Transporter, the rule, this provision 138(7) is imposing, casting the responsibility on the transporter. They are saying if the consignor or consignee reached to the transporter without e-way bill and consolidated value more than 50, responsibility of the transporter to generate the e-way bill on the basis of the invoice or any other document as the case may be. And then he can also generate the consolidated e-way bill. If the goods are supplied, transported through e-commerce or courier company, the party may be furnished by such EC or courier company. But this provision is not yet effective, please remember. Couple of questions. Sir, ट्रांसपोर्टर ऑल ई-वे बिल के बिहाफ पे EWB02 न्यू डॉक्यूमेंट जनरेट करेगा, उस कंसोलिडेटेड ई-वे बिल कहेंगे. यस, बहुत बढ़िया, बिल्कुल सही लिखा ज्योति आपने. इन केस ऑफ द गुड्स रिटर्न वो विल इश्यू द ई-वे बिल रिसिप्ट एनी पार्टी इन एनी मूवमेंट ऑफ द गुड्स. देयर वुड बी Either supplier or the recipient or transporter can generate the e-way bill. Any party can generate the e-way bill. It will not come. Probably if it is not yet effective, then probably not come, but it should be into your mind. It should be into your mind, your knowledge. कि भाई कौन सा प्रोविजन है जहां पे इफेक्टिव नहीं है. Validity, individual consignment. Yes. Now we are talking about information submitting for e-way bill can be used for filing the GST return. So whatever the information I have added in the part A, so that would be available in the GSTR1. Because I have entered entire invoice, every things we have entered, so this will be available for the GST returns. Cancellation of e-way bill, 24 hours. It is exactly same provision, cancellation of e-invoice. Can e-way bill be amended? No. Can e-invoice be amended? No. After 24 hours, can you cancel? No. Where an e-way bill has been generated, but goods are either not transported or not transported as per the detail, then e-way bill may be cancelled electronically within 24 hours of generation of e-way bill. This is the provision only. This is the rules only. Priyanka, we are reading the rule 138 of the CGST rule. So this is rule 138 sub rule 7. That is not yet effective. Meaning thereby provision means what? Either we are reading the act or we are reading the rules. So we are reading the currently rule and this rule is not yet effective. अगर ये ई-वे अभी नहीं है, पढ़ाओ, अगर ये ई-वे, अगर ये रूल्स इफेक्टिव नहीं है तो क्या ट्रांसपोर्टर की कोई रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है? एज ऑफ नाउ 138(7) के कारण कोई रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं. Now, however, e-way bill cannot be cancelled if it is being verified. Suppose 24 hours अभी क्रॉस नहीं हुआ, but मैंने गुड्स मूव कर दिया and in between ऑफिसर ने वेरीफाई कर लिया. In that case, again the provision would not be applicable. Cancellation would not be possible. Then, see, there are three things. Try to understand. If part A has been generated and part B not yet generated, the time limit is maximum 15 days. Part A has been entered, part B is not entered because of any reason. The part B can be added maximum within 15 days. Once part A and part B both added, it is become e-way bill and e-way bill can be cancelled within 24 hours. Part A और part B दोनों भर दिया, it is e-way bill. It cannot amended with respect to part A. Invoice number गलत डाल दिया, जीएसटी नंबर गलत डाल दिया, वैल्यू गलत डाल दी, रेट गलत डाल दिया, कैन बी अमेंड? नो. बट पार्ट बी कैन बी अपडेटेड मल्टीपल टाइम. व्हीकल चेंज हो गया, यू कैन अपडेट. मोड चेंज हो गया, बाय रोड टू बाय एयर, बाय वेसल, बाय शिप, यू कैन अपडेट द पार्ट बी. तो मैंने ये कहा बेटा कि पार्ट बी तो हम कितनी बार भी अमेंड कर सकते हैं, अपडेट कर सकते हैं, बट पार्ट ए की कोई भी डिटेल अमेंड नहीं होगी. अगर कोई गलती कर दी तो 24 आवर्स में कैंसिल करना पड़ेगा. समझ में आया प्रणव? हाँ, इनवॉइस का डेट और ई-वे बिल का डेट डिफरेंट डेफिनेटली हो सकता है. मैंने आज इनवॉइस बनाया, कल मूव कर रहा हूं तो ये कल बनेगा ई-वे बिल. हरिणी, में लास्ट सब रूल 7 में बात कर रहा था कि अगर इंडिविजुअल कंसाइनर ने ई-वे बिल जनरेट नहीं किया तो ट्रांसपोर्टर की रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है अगर वैल्यू 50,000 से एक्सीड कर जाता है. अगर वैल्यू एक्सीड कर जाता है 50,000 से, इट इज द रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ द जनरेटिंग द ई-वे बिल पार्ट ए एंड पार्ट बी बोथ बाय द ट्रांसपोर्टर ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द इनवॉइस और एनी अदर डॉक्यूमेंट. Is it clear? ठीक है ना? कैंसिलेशन ऑफ ई-वे बिल, वो देखो, ई-वे बिल खाली पार्ट ए को मैं ई-वे बिल कहूंगा? आंसर इज नो. एक बार पार्ट ए और पार्ट बी दोनों ऐड कर दिया तो उस डॉक्यूमेंट को हम ई वे बिल कहते हैं, और वो पूरा ई वे बिल कैंसिल होता है। ऐसे नहीं कि आधा ई वे बिल कैंसिल होगा, ई वे बिल कैंसिल होगा। व्हाट इज ई वे बिल? पार्ट इज नॉट द ई वे बिल वैलिडिटी फॉर मूवमेंट फॉर गुड्स। अगर ई वे बिल पार्ट ए बना दिया, विद इन 15 डेज यू हैव टू ऐड पार्ट बी। जब पार्ट बी ऐड कर दिया, ये पूरा ई वे बिल बन गया। कैंसिल करना तो पूरा ही कैंसिल होगा। इट्स नॉट कि पार्ट ए कैंसिल होगा पार्ट बी बचा हुआ रहेगा, नहीं ना। नाउ वैलिडिटी, द वैलिडिटी हैज बीन डिवाइडेड इन डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द कार्गो इज नॉर्मल कार्गो या ओडीसी कार्गो, ओडीसी और अदर देन ओडीसी। इन केस ऑफ द ओडीसी the validity is 20 kilometer one day. In case other than ODC, the validity is 200 kilometer per day. So let's say I'm only asking the question, then after that I will explain what is the ODC cargo. अगर ई वे बिल में कोई गलती हो जाती है 24, तो एक ऑप्शन है 72 आवर्स में रिजेक्ट कर सकता है रिसिपिएंट। जस्ट वेट फॉर सम टाइम, विल डिस्कस द प्रोविजन ऑफ 72 आवर्स आफ्टर द वैलिडिटी। 2-5 मिनट आप वेट कीजिए यतिराज, तब हम एक बार वैलिडिटी कंप्लीट कर लेते हैं, देन विल डिस्कस दिस प्रोविजन। 200 किलोमीटर वन डे, ठीक है। लेट्स से द डिस्टेंस इज 405 किलोमीटर। प्लीज कंफर्म कि ये कितना दिन वैलिड रहेगा। मान लीजिए मेरा कार्गो जो मैं गुड्स मूव कर रहा हूं वो अदर देन ओडीसी कार्गो है, देन उसकी वैलिडिटी कितनी होगी अगर डिस्टेंस 405 किलोमीटर है। अगर 405 किलोमीटर है तो व्हाट विल बी द वैलिडिटी फॉर अप टू 200 किलोमीटर वन डे, नेक्स्ट 200 किलोमीटर वन एक्स्ट्रा डे, और एनी पार्ट देयर ऑफ वन एक्स्ट्रा डे। इट मींस फॉर 5 किलोमीटर ऑल्सो आई विल गेट वन एक्स्ट्रा डे, सो द टोटल वैलिडिटी इज 3 days. Same. See, e-way bill is only e-way bill. Consolidated means only part B has been consolidated in one document. It's same. Or rather, I should say these are the both separate document. E-way bill is EWB01 and consolidated e-way bill is EWB02. There is a two separate document. Now, 3 days valid है. Suppose I have generated the e-way bill on 1st December at 11 a.m. It will be expire on 4th of December, 11 a.m. or some other time. What is the meaning of 1 day? 1 day means the midnight of the expiring date. 1 day means the midnight of that next day. It means if I have generated the e-way bill at 11 a.m. on 1st December, it will be valid till 4th December, and till midnight it will be valid. It is not counted like from time to time. It will be the valid till the midnight of the expiring date. Now we are discussing what is the meaning of ODC. ODC means a cargo carried a single indivisible unit and by which the dimensional limit has been exceeded of that conveyance. Every conveyance will have the dimensional weight, maximum capacity as per the Motor Vehicle Act, right? Every category of the conveyance has defined permissible limit, permissible weight according to the Motor Vehicle Act. Now, you are having one big plant and machinery which cannot be divided. You have to carry that particular machine in a single conveyance. But the problem is, if I put that machine in my conveyance, then my overall, the prescribed limit will exceed, dimensional limit will be exceeded according to the prescribed limit. In that case, that conveyance, that cargo is called as ODC, ओवर डायमेंशनल लिमिट बट सिंगल इंडिविजुअल यूनिट होना चाहिए. मतलब ऐसा चीज जिसको आप पार्ट पार्ट में डिवाइड नहीं कर सकते, जिसको एक साथ कैरी करना पड़ेगा. बट एक साथ कैरी करने के कारण क्या हुआ, जो मोटर व्हीकल एक्ट का जो टाइम है, वो टाइम से, वो जो लिमिट है मोटर व्हीकल एक्ट के अकॉर्डिंग, उस लिमिट से एक्सीड कर गया. इन दैट केस दैट कार्गो विल बी कॉल्ड एज ओडीसी, एंड इफ इट इज ओडीसी द वैलिडिटी वुड बी 20 किलोमीटर वन डे. इज इट क्लियर एवरीवन? एक बार यहां तक बताओ, यहां तक कंफर्म करो कि क्लियर हो गया अभी तक जितना भी हमने पढ़ा. यहां तक क्लियर हो गया? कोई क्वेश्चन है तो पूछ लो एक बार, देन विल मूव फर्दर. Kindly confirm, is it clear? Fine, thank you. Now we are moving to the validity. Whether validity can be extended, answer is yes. It can be extended by the commissioner for the certain category of the goods, or it can be extended even by the transporter for exceptional circumstances. Because of COVID, there are some area which are not permitted. So in that case, probably the transporter feel my validity will expire. Before expiring, he can extend. Might be because of any natural calamity. Correct. That transporter feel that truck cannot be moved. In that case, he can also extend the validity by putting the valid region. Correct. Acceptance of e-way bill. So the details, when suppose supplier is generating, it will be communicated to the counterparty. Supplier, when the information is partly furnished to either recipient or transporter, whomsoever is generating, it will be reached to the counterparty. Supplier, or if the supplier or the transporter is generating, it will be communicated to the recipient. On the common portal, in case the person to whom the information is part A made available does not communicate its acceptance or reject. Mr. I think Yatiraj, you have asked the question. Now this is answer for your question. Now they are saying that whether e-way bill can be rejected. Suppose there is any reason after 24 hours is being expired. Now what to do? There is a facility of rejection as well. What is the meaning of rejection? That person to whom the information in the part is made available, either supplier or the recipient, and he does not communicate his acceptance or rejection within the time, it will be deemed to be accepted. So what is the time limit for rejection? 72 hours of the details being made available to him on the common portal, or the time of the delivery of the goods, whichever is earlier. Yes, right, Yatiraj. 20 kilometer one day. If the distance is 200 kilometer, I can say 10 days. Is the validity period valid only when the one leg of the transporter is by ship? Either by road, by ship. For every case, no? Other than ODC cargo, or in case of the multimodal shipment. Multimodal, it means if the goods are going by air, by vessel, by then road, at least 1 lakh should be safe. So time limit kitna hai? 72 hours or delivery time, whichever is earlier. You got the answer, Yatiraj? You have received your answer. after the expiry of the 24 hours, what to do? The counterparty who is receiving the information of generation, he has the option to reject within 72 hours or delivery time, whichever is earlier. E-way bill generated in one state is valid to the another state also. Correct. Now, these are the situation when E-way bill is not required to be generated. The situation where E-way bill is not required to be generated. E-way bill जनरेट होता है तो रिसिपिएंट सी ज्योति अगर सप्लायर ने बनाया है तो रिसिपिएंट के पास मैसेज चला जाएगा और रिसिपिएंट ने बनाया तो सप्लायर के पास मैसेज चला जाएगा. ठीक. Now there are multiple provisions in which E-way bill is not applicable. This we have to read, understand, and this is the last part of the today class. And after that, we have the probably some good time to have the discussion on any question, whether with respect to this chapter or any other chapter. When the goods are being transported are below 1, LPG for supply to the household and non-domestic exempted category of customers. Kerosene oil, postal baggage, natural or cultured pearl, jewelry, currency. These are the precious or semi-precious stone, metals, etc. Then it is not safe to have the details on the E-way bill government portal. ठीक है. Used personal and household effect. Please remember the word used personal and household effect. These are exempted. Clause A talking about total 8 items which are exempted in the exempted from the E-way bill. Now clause B, when the goods are being transported in the non-motorized conveyance, if the goods are moved in the non-motorized, no E-way bill. When the goods are being transported from the custom to ICD, within the custom area, if there is a movement of the goods, then E-way bill is not applicable. From custom port, airport, and to the ICD or container freight station, or vice versa, from custom bonded from an ICD to the custom port, airport, or under the custom seal or custom supervision. Within the custom, if there is a movement, there is no E-way bill required. By clause D, the state has the power. State has the power to notify the any changes with respect to the intrastate supply. The state has the power to make exemption or such other areas as are notified under the SGST rule 138. Suppose if like earlier the Bihar within intrastate movement, within state movement, we are saying the limit is 2 lakh, no E-way bill required. From where they have taken the power? 138.14 clause D of CGST rule. Rajasthan is saying that for intrastate supply within district movement, no E-way bill is required. Like Delhi is saying for 1 lakh, no E-way bill is required. It means for intrastate movement with respect to movement of the goods, with respect to that state, you have to refer the respective SGST rule 138. There may be the relaxation or different things which you have to note down. When the goods being transported are exempted from tax. So one has asked the question in initially, if the goods are exempted, do we need to carry the E-way bill? If the goods are exempted, no requirement to generate E-way bill, but there is only one exception. If it is a de-oiled cake, then yes, need to generate. Where the goods being transported are non-taxable supplies. What is the non-taxable supplies? 1+5 alcoholic liquor for human consumption and petrol, crude, HSD, motor spirit, natural gases, aviation turbine fuel. Or if it is a no supply, what is the no supply? Which is mentioned in the schedule 3. This part we have already discussed. When the goods are transit cargo from or to Nepal or Bhutan. SEZ और नेपाल में गुड्स सप्लाई करेंगे तो ई वे भी लगेगा, यस लगेगा। यहां से अगर गुड्स मूव कर रहे हैं तो चलेगा, लगेगा ना। तो व्हाट इज दिस रिलैक्सेशन? What is the meaning of transit cargo? What is the meaning of transit cargo? It means, let's say, goods are moving from Pakistan to Nepal. Let's say goods are moving directly from Pakistan to Nepal, in which India is coming, but only because these countries are landlocked countries. Landlocked country means they are connected by road. Correct. If the goods are going by road and India is only in transit country, India is only in transit country. It is not a origin country. It is in transit. So it means goods are somewhere started from any other country and goods are going to any other country, Nepal or Bhutan. Then if it is India is in transit, then it means India is in transit, then it means there is no requirement for in transit cargo from Nepal or Bhutan truck. You can say cargo means whatever the mode of conveyance. It can be truck, it can be big truck, mini truck, any truck. Is it clear? यहां तक मुझे एक बार कंफर्म करें, what is the doubt? Pakistan to Bangladesh. So you see, Nepal or Bhutan, only these are relaxation. Other than that, yes, it will be required. Because of security reason, if the goods are moved by CSD to the unit run canteen, these are the Air Force canteen, or to the authorized person, and the supply the goods by unit run canteen to authorized customer. Similarly, supply the heavy water, nuclear fuels by the Department of Atomic Energy to the nuclear power, no e-way bill is required. If the movement are caused by the defense formation under Ministry of the Defense, no e-way bill required. Again, if the government are moving the goods by rail, no e-way bill required. But if it is by road, yes, e-way bill required. When the empty cargo container are being transported, you have sent the goods has been reached. Now the only empty cargo container, empty खाली container आ रहा वापस, and उस खाली container के value 50,000 से ज्यादा है. In that case, do you need to generate the e-way bill? Answer is no. If the goods are only exempted other than handicraft and it's interstate, then e-way bill is required. Answer is no. Abdul, they are saying in case of the goods are exempted other than de-oiled cake, the movement is not required. The e-way bill is not required, whether it is inter. Because for intra, we have to refer the respective SGST rule. But for interstate, this rule would apply. So they are giving the exemption to all category of exempted item, no e-way bill required. Except in above we have discussed, if there is a handicraft goods, then in that case, yes, e-way bill would be required. Priyanka, what would be the treatment? E-way bill required, that's it. Now try to understand this point. When the goods are being transported, here there is two combination. First is distance up to 20 kilometer and going from here to Weybridge. From place of business, from POB, from place of business to Weybridge or coming back. If the distance are 20 kilometer, movement are from principal place of business to the Weybridge, and third is delivery challan. See, Renuja, how the e-way bill affects security, because you are giving which goods are moving, by which truck it is moving. Suppose I'm sending the defense equipment, important equipment, might be it can be leaked. Correct, na? It is possible. In that case, considering security reason, the precious metal, etc., defense with respect to defense, or this with respect to CSD or unit and canteen of the Air Force, in these case, no e-way bill required. कहां से कहां मूव हो रहा है, किस व्हीकल के द्वारा मूव हो रहा है. If the data is available in the e-way bill portal, it will be available to all the GST officer. It would be accessible to all the GST officer. Correct. That is the reason. Now, when empty cylinder for packing of the LPG are being moved for a reason other than supply, no e-way bill is required. Correct. Now, the document and devices to be carried by the person in charge of a conveyance. So let's say person in charge, Mr. A is a driver who is carrying that conveyance, who is carrying that truck. Then Mr. A should have the document, which invoice, bill of supply or delivery challan. Next, copy of the e-way bill in the physical form or e-way bill number in the electronic form or mapped to the RFID devices embedded on the conveyance. Okay. Except in case of the goods movement by road, by rail, by airway in such manner as may be notified by the commissioner. Carrying e-way bill in the electronic form implies that person in charge of the conveyance can merely quote the e-way bill number to the proper tax officer. Tax officer will do all the requisite verification based on that number. And RFID means radio frequency identification device. IRN in lieu of the tax invoice. What is the IRN? If you remember, RFID is the device, radio frequency identification device. Commissioner can notify the devices for certain category of the transporter. They are not required to carry physical. They have to have the device, one device by which they can map the e-way bill. So probably it would be some coding system by which a scan would be available and officer can just simply scan and understand all these things, whatever the document or whatever the goods are there in the respective conveyance. If a recipient place is within 50 km for transporter place in the same state, so part B need to be added by the transporter. You are saying recipient is within, for first before movement, part B has to be added. It can be by the supplier or it can be by the recipient. Then goods can be moved. And if there is a change in the conveyance, part B has to be updated. But if it is within 50 km state are same, then it is relaxed. What is the invoice reference number? I'm asking to all of you. You tell me what is the invoice reference number. I'm asking the question, what is the invoice reference number? Please tell me. You all are requested to tell me what is the IRN, invoice reference number. Waiting for your answer. What is the invoice reference number? Absolutely correct. It is applicable in case of e-invoicing. So the registered person will put the detail on the invoice registration portal, IRP, and IRP will give the detail of IRN embedded with QR code. Correct. So in that case, if you are having the e-invoice QR code, having an embedded IRN may be produced electronically for verification in lieu of the physical copy of tax invoice. So if there is an e-invoice, there is no requirement of physical copy of tax invoice, online sufficient. Okay. Document in lieu of e-way bill where circumstances so warrant, commissioner by notification require the person in charge of the conveyance to carrying the following document: tax invoice, bill of supply or bill of entry or delivery challan. So there is notification from time to time. It may be or may not be there. Rule 138B says that verification of the document and conveyance. Now the commissioner or an officer empowered by him in this behalf may authorize the proper officer to intercept any conveyance, to verify the e-way bill in physical or electronic form for all inter or intrastate movement of the goods. The commissioner shall get RFID installed at the place where the verification is required to be carried out, and verification shall be done through such device. Physical verification shall be carried out by the officer as authorized. However, on receipt of specific information or evasion of tax can also be carried out by any other officer after obtaining approval. Inspection and verification of the goods. In 138B, we have discussed verification of the document and conveyance. 138C, we are talking about now verification of the goods. A summary report of the every inspection of the goods in transit shall be recorded in the Part A within 24 hours and final report in the Part B within 3 days. If there is a sufficient cause, then it can be further extended by another period of 3 days. I can say the inspection report by the proper officer. So after doing the inspection goods, etc., then he has to submit the report also. The report, it has also two parts. Part A within 24 hours, Part B within 3 days. But 3 days can be further extended another period of 3 days. Facility for uploading the information of the detention of the vehicle, where the vehicle has been intercepted and detained for a period of more than 30 minutes, the transporter can upload this information. What happened? If this information would be uploaded, then the benefit, what is the biggest benefit? So that e-way bill is valid for 2 days. Now after 1 day, e-way bill, the goods has been detained. Okay. Vehicle has been intercepted. After 30 days, the driver or any person can inform the same in the e-way bill EWB 04. Correct. The specified form, you are not required to remember the form number, but you can inform the same on the portal. So whatever the time the vehicle is being detained, this period would be excluded while calculating the validity. That is the advantage. To whom the report is submitted by the proper officer? To the commissioner. The report would be online. He has to submit online. And it will also goes to the jurisdictional officer as well. Blocking of e-way bill 138E is saying that no person shall be allowed. No person shall be allowed. It means in the below case, the e-way bill can be blocked. Cannot be generated e-way bill when a person paying the tax under composition has not furnished the statement of payment of self-assessed tax. In case of the composition dealer, they have to pay the tax on quarterly basis. Correct. If it is not paid for 2 consecutive quarters, then it is blocked. A person paying the tax under regular scheme has not furnished for 2 tax periods, possible to block. A person paying the tax under regular scheme has not furnished the GSTR1 for any 2 month or quarter as the case may be. Or a person whose registration has been suspended under Rule 21A. So person paying the tax under regular scheme has not furnished GSTR1 for 2 months or 2 quarter, or regular scheme has not furnished the return for consecutive period of 2 tax periods. So they are talking about GSTR3B. Here they are talking about GSTR1. And if the number is suspended, then also. So these are the power. And it may be noted that expression transported by railway, transportation of goods by railway, transportation of goods by rail, and movement of the goods by rail used in the provision not include case where the leasing of the parcel space by railway takes place. Okay. 55A, tax invoice or the bill of the supply to accompany the transport of document. Person in charge of the conveyance shall carry the copy of tax invoice or bill of supply issued in accordance with the provision of the Rule 46, 46A or 49. So person in charge of the conveyance shall carry a copy of tax invoice or the bill of the supply issued in accordance with the provision of 46, tax invoice 46A, invoice cum bill of supply 49, bill of supply, in case where the person is not required to carry an e-way bill under these rules. Because of any provision, commissioner has the power to notify such situation. In that case, What is the conveyance this case? Balaji is not clear. Conveyance means conveyance, cargo, everything by which we are moving the goods. It can be ship, it can be by aeroplanes, or it can be by road, then truck. What is the evidence for detention or time? The report, and also there are certain MOV0. There are the certain forms. MOV, if it is being detained, then MOV1 has to be uploaded, MOV2, MOV3, MOV4. So these are the form by which it can be proved. So from my side, this chapter is completed. Now you can ask any question. We'll discuss. You can ask the question with respect to any other provision of the chapter, any chapter, or this chapter. Now it's over to you. Now it's over to you. I will wait for 2 minutes and then start answering the question. You can put any question, whatever you are asking. Anish, Oja, instead of summary, I will ask the quick round of the question by which it will have the more clear. You will have the more clarity on the EV bill topic. So you do not have any question? Please ask again. Harini, kindly ask again whatever the question you asked earlier. Please copy paste. Is validity applicable only in case of one? No, for every case. See, if it is a cargo, it would be applicable. If it is a movement of the goods other than ODC cargo, it will be applicable. So it's not that only in that case it will be applicable. Practical example for which? Harini, I have given that at that point of time, I have given the answer. So you are asking practical example for what? Alok, if one registered person in Haryana under GST, please once again tell me, Harini, what you like, for which point you like the practical, you want the practical example. पर्सन हरियाणा में रजिस्टर्ड है, ओके, एंड ही रजिस्टर्ड अंडर सीटीपी और एनआरटीपी, रजिस्टर्ड हिमसेल्फ इन मुंबई, सीटीपी की कैटेगरी में मुंबई में रजिस्टर्ड हो गया। एनआरटीपी तो एप्लीकेबल नहीं होगा ना, एनआरटीपी तो नॉन रेसिडेंट के लिए एप्लीकेबल होता है, यहां तो सीटीपी के रूप में भी रजिस्टर्ड होगा। एंड सप्लाई टेक्स प्लेस इन मुंबई, देन इट विल बी स्टेट इंट्रास्टेट ना। अब आप क्या, आपने क्या किया, यू हैव टेकन सर्टेन गुड्स टू मुंबई एंड फ्रॉम वेयर यू आर मेकिंग द टैक्स, फ्रॉम वेयर यू आर मेकिंग द सप्लाई। इफ यू आर सप्लाइंग द गुड्स फ्रॉम मुंबई, यू हैव टेकन सीटीपी, देन इट विल बी ऑब्वियसली इंट्रास्टेट सप्लाई। Dhyanesh Ingal, suppose I have the invoice number 1. Suppose I have the invoice number 1. Once invoice number is being, one number is being used, that can, the same number cannot be used again. Correct. So probably it is not possible. Probably it is not possible that supplier or recipient both can generate the e-way bill on the same document number. because supplier will generate by selecting outward and recipient will generate by selecting inward. And probably if the number is matched, having the same GST number in the bill to party, then it will, portal will not allow to generate. And also second, there is the option of the reject. Suppose this supplier prepare the Eway bill, it will communicate it to the recipient. Recipient prepare, it will communicate it to the supplier. So if supplier generate and also receive the message that recipient has generated, any one party, either supplier or recipient, can cancel, can reject that Eway bill also. And also we have the time limit of 24 hours to cancel. So there are the three options available. I hope it is clear. Harini, kindly confirm that you need the example for credit note. You need the example for credit note or debit note. Is it what your question? Okay, you have given. I have made the mistake in the taxable supply, say in the month of Jan 2022. Fine. So we can raise the credit note in November 22 and the annual return, whichever is earlier. I need the both circumstances. What is the time limit for raising them? You have like raise the invoice with the higher value or higher tax rate. Okay. Now you need to raise the credit note for this supply, financial year 21-22. So you have to raise the credit note. You have to raise the credit note, whichever is earlier below to date. What is the first? First is the declaration has to be declared by 30th November or furnishing of annual return, whichever is earlier. Due date is 31st December. Might be it has been filed by 15th November. Might be it is being filed on 7th January. Possible now. So actual furnishing date or the return which you will declare by 30th November. See, the last date is not given with respect to date. It has been given, it has to be declared by 30th November. So suppose late to late, which return can be filed? It can be of October. So I can say the 31st October or annual return furnishing date, whichever is earlier. Is it clear? Is it clear? So please treat this financial year 21-22. क्लियर हुआ? अगेन मैं कहता हूं, वापस रिपीट कर रहा हूं, क्रेडिट नोट किस तारीख तक इश्यू करना ये नहीं दिया. Whether it has been given date of issuance of the credit note, no, they have given declaration of the credit note. अब अगर नवंबर तक डिक्लेयर करना है तो लेट टू लेट क्या हो सकता है? अक्टूबर का रिटर्न. सो इट मींस द लास्ट डेट मैक्स टू मैक्स इट कैन बी 31st October. Yes, but I wanted you to explain with years. I think it is clear now. I have taken years. I have taken the date also. Everything I have taken. Still you have the doubt, you can ask. So we are clear about the month and date. Please specify the year with the help of an example. So I am saying the original supply was made in January 22. So it is financially 21-22. Either taxable value or the tax rate was higher. Okay, fine. Let me once again. Original supply was made in January 2022. And the invoice value, which should be 10 lakh, but wrongly I have raised 11 lakh. Therefore, I have to issue the credit note. What is the last date to issue the credit note? After the end of the financial year. What is the financial year? 21-22. So you can issue the credit note and declare in the return by 30th November or furnishing of annual return, whichever is earlier. They are saying not the date of credit note. They are saying the declaration of the credit note. So I am saying if you are declaring by 30th November, Maximum 30th November 2022. See, this particular party has already filed the GSTR1 by reporting 11 lakh. ये एक्चुअल टैक्स इनवॉइस है, मैं वापस एक्सप्लेन करता हूं. लेट मी टेक द टैक्स इनवॉइस. डेट इज 15th January 2022. It should be 10 lakh, but wrongly it has been reported as 11 lakh. You have filed the GSTR1 for the month of January, and by taking that invoice number. Now you need to raise the credit note. Because of this 11 lakh, you have raised extra, so you have raised the credit note of 1 lakh rupees. What can be the maximum date? It can be 31st October 2022, which you can furnish by 30th November, or furnishing 30th November 2022, or annual return of financial year 21-22, whichever is earlier. अभी भी कोई डाउट है? प्लीज आस्क अगेन. आई विल ट्राई टू री एक्सप्लेन. अभी क्लियर हुआ या? नो प्रॉब्लम. अभी कैसा है हरिणी? हरिणी अभी कैसा है? अभी क्लियर है? दिस ट्रांजेक्शन हैज ऑलरेडी बीन रिपोर्टेड इन GSTR1 of Jan. Now I am talking about the credit note. You will report the credit note in GSTR1. It can be of any month, but maximum it can be of October 2022. Now there is a question, if it is QRMP, it can be through IFF of October, Invoice Furnishing Facility of October. No problem, beta, no problem. Then we have to give the details of original invoice. See, earlier it was required. Now the portal has removed that particular functionality to give the reference of original invoice or credit invoice. So earlier we are reporting for every credit note or debit note, we are reporting the original invoice, but now it is not required. But you have to keep your data, because in case of the departmental audit, they may ask. So now let's move to the Ashok ji. You can, may stop karo sharing. You can put me in the center. Eway bill. We are starting with a quick round of the question for Eway bill. What is the threshold limit for Eway bill? What is the threshold limit for Eway bill? What is the threshold limit for Eway bill? Please tell me what is the Anand still. सर इनवॉइस में ओरिजिनल इशू कर चुका हूं. 21-22 के ओरिजिनल इनवॉइस था. क्रेडिट नोट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट पर्टेनिंग टू 21-22 इनवॉइस. आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट द इनवॉइस टिल अक्टूबर. नो, क्रेडिट नोट पर्टेन टू द फाइनेंशियल ईयर 21-22. द लिमिट इज 50,000 consignment. Will it include the taxes or not include? Will it include the taxes or not? 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 The answer is no, it will not include, or it will include. I'm not sure. You please give the answer. It is inclusive of tax. Next question. What things will not be included? Rather, I should say, what thing will be excluded? क्या चीज हम exclude करेंगे in calculating the value? फॉर द पर्पज ऑफ ई वे बिल। क्या चीज हम इंक्लूड करेंगे वो आपने बता दिया। मेरा क्वेश्चन है क्या चीज एक्सक्लूड करेंगे फॉर ई वे बिल का वैल्यू। कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, अरे नहीं बेटा कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, आराम से पूछिए, मल्टीपल टाइम पूछिए, मुझे कोई इश्यू नहीं है। एग्जेम्प्टेड अगर कोई सप्लाई है तो मैं उस पर्टिकुलर पार्ट को हटा दूंगा, उसके अलावा पार्ट को मैं इंक्लूड करूंगा। कैन अनरजिस्टर्ड ट्रांसपोर्टर पॉसिबल टू जनरेट द ई वे बिल? क्या अनरजिस्टर्ड ट्रांसपोर्टर जनरेट कर सकता है ई वे बिल? क्या अनरजिस्टर्ड ट्रांसपोर्टर जनरेट कर सकता है ई वे बिल? आंसर इज यस, ही कैन जनरेट द ई वे बिल। ई वे बिल पोर्टल पर जाके पहले उसको अपना कुछ डिटेल देना पड़ेगा एंड आफ्टर दैट द 15 डिजिट नंबर वुड बी जनरेटेड, जिसे हम ट्रांस आईडी भी कहते हैं, एंड देन ही कैन जनरेट द ई वे बिल। ऐसी दो सिचुएशन जिसमें 50,000 से अगर वैल्यू कम भी है, देन ऑल्सो आई हैव टू जनरेट ई वे बिल। देर आर द टू सिचुएशन इन विच आई हैव टू जनरेट द ई वे बिल कंपल्सरीली। There are two situations in which e-way bill is compulsory even the value is less than 50,000. Kindly tell me what are the two situations? वो दो सिचुएशन कैसी है जहां पे ई-वे बिल जनरेट करना मैंडेटरली रिक्वायर्ड है इवन दो वैल्यू इज लेस देन 50,000। अभी तक द फर्स्ट राइट आंसर इज इंटर स्टेट, अगर हैंडीक्राफ्ट गुड्स जहां पे सप्लायर इज एग्जिम्प्टेड फ्रॉम द रजिस्ट्रेशन, ठीक है, लाइक कैजुअल टैक्सेबल पर्सन। और दूसरा प्रिंसिपल टू जॉब वर्कर। थैंक यू सो मच। इन केस ऑफ द बिल टू शिप टू मॉडल, please give me the answer. In case of the bill to ship to model, how many supply and how many e-way bill would be there? कितनी सप्लाई है और कितने ई-वे बिल बनेंगे इन केस ऑफ द बिल टू शिप टू मॉडल? इन केस ऑफ द बिल टू शिप टू मॉडल कितने ई-वे बिल बनेंगे और कितनी सप्लाई है? हाउ मच इज द हाउ क्वांटम काउंट? What is one? Supply की e-way bill. Pranav, also write the count is 1 or 2 is for supply or for e-way bill? Kindly give the answer. Kindly give the answer. There would be 2 supply and 1 e-way bill. Absolutely correct. आप लोग मेरी एक बात नहीं मान रहे. You are not accepting my one request. You are not accepting my one request. I need each one of you to connect on the LinkedIn profile. So every professional progress would be informed और would be available to me that आप लोग अपना कौन से एग्जाम में इंटर पास किया, कब किया, आईडीटी में कितना मार्क्स आया, that all things I want. See, we are connected through online classes. We don't have seen to each other, correct? So my request, so आप मुझे कैसे inform करेंगे? You also do not have the mobile number. I will not allow to share the mobile number. So what would be the way to connect? What would be the way to connect? So my humble request, kindly connect me on LinkedIn profile CA Arun Chajed and inform after giving the exam and declaration of the result. I need information of every one of you. So this is my humble request. So next question to all of you. Part A can be amended. Can the Part A be amended? ज्योति बेटा ओपन कर लो ना, ओपन कर लो लिंक्डइन, क्या दिक्कत है? प्रोफेशनल प्रोफाइल है, इट्स बेटर. Part A can be updated or not? If I have filled the information in the Part A, can the Part A be updated multiple times? Part A cannot be updated. Part A cannot be updated. Can you tell me when Part B is not compulsory required? And there are two situations which we have discussed. Very important question. See, normally we know that e-way bill is valid only when we have added the Part B. Then only it is called as e-way bill. But tell me one situation wherein even though I have not updated or added Part B, still e-way bill is valid. मैंने पार्ट बी नहीं भरा या नहीं अपडेट किया तब भी वैलिड माना जाएगा, तब भी एक्सेप्टेबल है. कौन से सिचुएशन में? इट्स ए स्लाइटली लॉन्ग आंसर बट यू शुड गिव द आंसर. Kindly add which location is starting and which location ending. Piyush, Harini, Pranam, everyone. You have written one thing is clear. There are three components to this answer. There are three important components to this answer. To this question, your answer should consist of three important components: distance, from and to, and state. Kavita, we have already discussed in detail how one e-way bill is inbuilt to ship to model. Requested to revisit the recorded video. The distance is 50 kilometers from business place to the transporter place, or from transporter place to the consignee place, and it should be within the state 50 kilometers, not less than 50 kilometers. It is 50 kilometers within the state, and movement is from business place to the transporter place. That is one situation. Another situation, from transporter place to consignee place. What is the consolidated e-way bill? What is the consolidated e-way bill? What is the consolidated e-way bill? Kindly give me the elaborative answer. Absolutely, Harshita, Karthik, everyone has given the right answer. What is the EWB02 consolidated e-way bill? Consolidated e-way bill is Pranav has given very smart answer. Very smart answer. One part two for many party. One part two for many party. So the logically is correct. See, there are multiple party EWB01. Then you can consolidate, and transporter can consolidate if these goods are carrying in a single conveyance. See, the keyword is one conveyance. You can consolidate the part B and generate the EWB02, consolidating all the document. Correct. Now let me ask the question with respect to the validity or time. Within how much? See, listen my question carefully. Part A has been added. Part B is not added. What is the time limit within which part B has to be added? What is the time limit within which part B has to be added? कितना टाइम में आपको पार्ट बी भी ऐड करना पड़ेगा? Part A has been added, part B has not been added. Within how much days this particular part B has to be added? कोई time limit है क्या या कोई time limit है? The answer is 15 days. Can you please tell me what is 24 hours? Can you please tell me what is 24 hours? Can you please tell me what is 24 hours? Harshita, the right answer is 15 days for the last question. The last question का correct answer within 15 days है. Part A add कर दिया, Part B को add करने का time limit 15 दिन है. Now next question, what is 24 hours then? What is 24 hours? Kindly confirm what is 24 hours. The time limit to cancel the Eway bill. Please do not write cancellation of part A. Priyanka, Dhyanesh, please do not write cancellation of part A. Part A plus part B both has been there, then it is called as Eway bill. And the entire Eway bill is cancelled, not the part. Correct. Then rejection time limit. Kindly explain correctly what is the time limit within which Eway bill can be rejected. What is the time limit within which Eway bill can be rejected? What is the time limit within which Eway bill can be rejected? Please explain both the time, whichever is earlier. Please explain both the time. $72 hours is only 72 hours. No, sir. It is 72 hours or time of the delivery of the goods, whichever is earlier. Now, please read the, why you are saying subsection 10, there is an amendment. It is updated. It is already updated. Harini, it is already updated. What is the ODC cargo? What is the ODC cargo? You are writing 72 hours of details of the part A. Please note, it is starting from part B, not from part A. And second, acceptance by officer. No, this is not the acceptance by officer, 72 hours or delivery, time of the delivery of the goods, whichever is earlier. ठीक है. Next question. Suppose e-way bill, there is one situation in which the goods are exempted, but e-way bill is mandatory. Normally, we know that in case of the exempted goods, there is no requirement of e-way bill. Can you please tell me that which exempted goods require mandatory e-way bill other than handicraft? ODC means over dimensional cargo, single indivisible unit. That is the correct answer. And you have given the right answer also, that it is having the validity of 20 kilometer one day. Next question to all of you. And that is the last question. And that is the last question also. That please tell me, in which case exempted goods need e-way bill other than handicraft I am talking about. कोई दिक्कत नहीं बेटा, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. The right answer is D, oiled cake. हेलो कैसा मत बोलना कि केक विदाउट ऑयल. केक विदाउट ऑयल मत बोलना. It is D, oiled cake. Perfect. So from my side, this particular webinar class, everything is over. Over to you. Kindly confirm so that we can wind up the 2-day class. From my side, it's completed. Kindly give me the confirmation. Thank you very much. Good night. Please give me the confirmation. Then I will wind up this discussion. And please connect on social media. That is only LinkedIn, nothing else. Kindly connect with me, CA Arun Chajat, on social media. थोड़ी सी ठंड ज्यादा लग रही है मुझे शायद. हरिणी गूगल इट ना, गूगल कर लेना. You will have the more clarity. Google कर लेना. It will be completed. Thank you very much. Then we can wind up the discussion. Thank you very much. Good night. We'll meet in the next. Ashok sir.